Casinos Vegas. I got some questions last week about blackjack, and they wanted to know a little bit about insurance and how that is, and then I'll go into the other question. Okay, when you're playing blackjack and the dealer has an ace, you're they're going to ask you if you want insurance. Now, the ratios are them having blackjack in a single deck is actually 33. They're not going to have it, and 16 they are going to have it. So if you have two decks, it's 69. They're not going to have it, and 33 they're going to have it, or 32. If it's six decks, it's 213. They're not going to have it to 96. If it's eight decks, it's 285. They're not going to have it, and only 128 they're going to have it. That's why they offer insurance. So just remember, always say, if they ask you, would you like insurance, just say no. If you want even money, say no, because that's why they're offering it, because if the ratio's in your favor, they're not going to have it. So if you do take it, say you bet $10 here, it has to be an even amount. If you bet 10 here and you want the insurance, you have to place $5 here. So it's half the bet. So if they don't have it, they'll take your $5 and the game will continue. But if they do have it, they'll take all these, say everybody has $10. They'll take all those and they'll end up paying the one who took insurance on his $5, they'll pay him 10. So he's actually breaking out even. But in the long run, you shouldn't be taking it. That's the one question I got about blackjack. So the ratio is in your favor not to take blackjack. Just remember, just say no. Even money, insurance, all you got to remember is say no. In the long run, you'll save more money by not taking insurance. Okay, the other thing I got, this is funny because I actually looked this up myself years ago, figured this out. Okay, let's go for an example. You got 7 players. I got 7. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I got 6 players here, but a lot of tables are 7. So you got 6 players here. And let's just say, for an example, everybody's playing $100. That way you guys can, So say everybody's playing $100, and let's say, for an example, this one, this player, and this player, and this player, and this player. I was hoping this was 7. It's only 6. It doesn't matter. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 people have $100 here, and they have 100. Well, these 4 people lose. Say they lose. So these 4 lost their $100, and these 2 people over here, they won. Okay. So now watch this. This is why the casinos, a lot of the casinos just keep making money no matter what. So they got 1, 2, 3, 400, and they take that 400, they dump on their tray, and then they pay these 2 200. But you got to remember something. They used the 200 from these 2 and still made $200 profit. So the casino still made $200, even though they paid out 200. They're 200 ahead. So so you can see how the casino keeps making money even when they lose. So that's the scenario on that. Because I asked the question why a lot of times the casino, even though you see them losing, but they paying out, but the tray is not getting empty because they're still winning. Now, that's the other thing on, I think it was episode 2 with Gypsy. That's the other thing. You want to walk down the aisles, and if you see the blackjack trays, they're actually called banks, but the trays, if you see them kind of empty, unless the floor came and refilled them. Now, usually they do that if it's an emergency, or a lot of times every 4 hours they come and refill them. But you can actually go up to the table if you see a lot of checks gone, or checks, chips. You see them gone, you can actually ask the dealer, uh, have you been refilled, or when's the last time you refilled? And they'll just guy, I don't know, 4 hours ago, it wasn't on my shift. Then you can see all the chips that are missing. So that table is actually called dumping. The dealer is actually paying out a lot, because you'll notice that. So if you go down the aisles, you want to look for a table that a lot of the chips are missing, and that means they're dumping. So that actually, those people there are actually winning. And then you can look at their stacks too, see how many chips they have, unless they stuck the black ones in their. That's the other thing. They stick the black ones in their pocket. A lot of times, the casino, they don't, when they're playing, it's a $5, $10 table, they like to pay out in red, because if you have a lot of red and then maybe some green, they don't like to give you a black chip, because they know you're going to put that in your pocket or a woman's purse. So that's why they don't like giving you black. When you have, say you got 2 stacks of red and a stack of green, even if you ask them, could I color these up? It's called color coming in. Color up, and they'll have to ask the floor, can I change these in black? And sometimes the floor says no, because they know you're going to stick those in your pocket. So it's just another way of why the casinos do certain things. Okay, let me see. The other thing on blackjack, if you're a card counter, I went into this. This is first base. This is considered second base, and this third base. Okay, a lot of card counters like to see it first base, because of all the 10s are coming out. A lot of 10 cards. They like to hit them here. I don't mind. I play here, and I actually play at third base. It don't matter to me, but usually you want to sit here. This is a 2, stand on all 7. Dealer draw, stand on 17. Now this table says they must draw 16 and stand on 17. Now try to find a table where the dealer actually says they have to hit a soft 17, because those tables are hard to find. So you get about a 0.1% better. I think it's 0.22% in your favor, versus stand on all 17 to 0.66%. So you're better off finding the table that says dealer must hit on soft 17. Let me see. The other thing on blackjack, let's see, card counting, and I suggest you play 2 hands, because if it's a $5 table, they're gonna make you play 10 and 10. If it's a $10 table, they're gonna make you play 20 and 20. But some of the local casinos, like the Orleans, sometimes they do let you. If it's a $5 table, they let you play 5 and 5, which is actually pretty good, because they like those people coming in, the locals coming in to their casino. But if you say you play and you hit, say you hit a 20 here, and say you hit let's say a 16, which is the worst stiff hand you can have, and then you take a hit and you bust, they're going to take your $10. And if this 20, if the dealer has 18, 19, 20, you win. So this one will pay this one. So you actually broke out even, which is you should be happy you even broke out even, because this game is actually, the percentages are actually against you. So when the dealer is weak, that's when you start splitting and you start doubling down. Now, in my book, I also tell you, when you have 2 5s and the dealer has a 2 through 6. Now, there's some people that when the dealer has 17, they don't even look. As soon as they get 2 5s, they're trying to already double down. And I a couple of my buddies said, "What are you doing? You got to wait and see what the dealer has." No, I got 2 5s. I'm going to double down. I said, "What happens if they get a 10 value card?" I said, "You don't want to do that, especially if you're pretty good at basic strategy, or you're a card counter and you actually see what's going on here. You're going to kind of know in the beginning of the shoe or single double deck, you're going to kind of more or less know, if you use card recognition, you're going to kind of more or less know what might come out. Now, if he gets 2 5s and the dealer has a 2 through 6, more likely the down card, a lot of times it's a 10. I don't know why, it's just a 10. The dealer has usually, you just assume it's a 10. Just remember that. So, so if they have, let's say they have a 6 and you have 2 5s, okay, that's a huge bust hand because supposedly they got 16, so they have to take a hit. So what you do is you take those 2 5s and you don't double down, you split them. So you split them, and then say your next card is a 4. Well, I would double down again. So now you have, let's say $5. So you have 5 and 5, and now you have a total of 15 so far. Okay, so it doesn't matter what the dealer gives you because the bust ratio is really high for the dealer. So you take a hit. Let's just say it's what you have 4. Let's say it's an 8. So so now you got what, 17. So now this other 5, say you get a 6. So you double down, and it doesn't matter what you get. You're just hoping it's a high card. And the other scenario on that is, because this happened to me. This happened to me one time. I had an 8. I had 2 8s, and the dealer had a 5. So what I did is I got the 2 8s, and I split them. So I got, that's funny because I was playing $25, and I had, and then I split them, and then the next card it was an 8. So you get another 8, and I looked at it and I go, well, I'm gonna go ahead and split that too. So they came over here. I put another $25 here, and then so for now I turned $25 into 75, and then I can't remember. Let's see, 75. So then I got a I don't remember what card it was, but I stand, and then this card right here, the next card on my 8, I got another 8, and I looked at the dealer and she goes, wow, and I go, I gotta split it. So I split it. So now when I did that, I actually another 25 here. So now I had $125. And then this hand right here, I doubled down. So now I had 150. And then on this one, I think this card, I just took a card. I think it was a 10. I stood. But on my last one, I doubled down on that. So I turned $25 into $175 because the dealer was weak. And I had opportunities to split 8s, or a lot of people split the 5s, or, okay, I'll tell you about the 6s right now. So the dealer bust. She turned over a 10, and then the other one, I think, was a 9, and she busted. So I turned $25 into $175 because the dealer was weak. And that's when you take advantage, when the dealer is weak. So, and I got kind of scared because I was card counting at that time. I was very early, and I got all paranoid. I thought they were going to come and get me. So I cashed out. So I made $175 out of $25. So the other thing is, I have in my book on tips on blackjack. If you get 2 5s, and of course 2 through 6, I suggest you split them. Okay, if you get 2 6s, do the same thing, because if you get a 5, you got the same thing. You got 11. So split the 2 6s, and you could get a 4. That means 10, and you could double down. You might get a face card that's 20, and then over here you might get another 6. So you can split that again. So I would do that, because even if you get a 5 and a 6 and a 5 and a 6, you got 11. So if you get 2 10s, you got 20. So I would do that, and always play 2 hands. Don't play 3 hands. Like I said, I did that in my first episode. I did scenarios on three hands, because the casino actually offers it. So I go, now why are they offering me playing 3 hands? I know playing 1 hand you can really concentrate, but play 3 hands. So what I did is I played 2 hands, and I did 10 shoes. I actually went through all the trouble of doing this. I did 10 shoes, and I counted everything, and then I did 10 shoes of 3 hands. I had a lot of time. It was a Friday night. I remember that I had a full day Friday. So when I was done, the 2 hands I got more. I got paid back more than two hands than I did three. And I noticed when I played was really screwed because I remember I was just playing $5 because I was testing it out. When I was playing 5, 5, and 5, I remember when I lost all the whole 15. Now, if you use money management, this is very important. I teach money management and hedge betting in my book. But if you use, well, this is really important. People need to understand money management because that'll really save you a lot of money by using money management. Okay. Say I lost these $15, right? Okay. Now say I play three hands again and I put $5. Now some people put 10. You shouldn't do that because you only lost 15. Okay. So just say you won one and lost the other two. Okay, so now you won one here, but you lost these two. So you got this back. So now you're down 4 times. You're down $20. So if you keep playing using money management, you got to play the same $5. Don't start putting 10, 10, and 10, or like a lot of people get all mad and they go, screw that three hands, they stack a bunch of chips on it. Don't do that because if you lose that, now you're really in the hole. So you got to play money management. So now say the next time you play 5, 5, and 5, and you win all three. So now you won these three and they're $5. So now you're only $5 in the hole. So that's why I don't like playing all three. Now people are saying, well, what happens if I win all three? Well, that's fine too. You might win all three. But you think you're going to win all three all the time? I did the scenarios. I won more money or saved more money by playing two hands. So I would do that. I did the scenarios for you. It took me a long time. I think it was 2 hours and a half to do all this. So I would suggest you just play two hands. If you go to any blackjack table, you can play. Hopefully, you can get in there and tell the dealer, I want to play two hands. So you can do that. The other thing is when you play, say you're playing $5 and you're playing one hand and you lose $5. Okay. The next hand you play $5 because you only lost 5. So you replace the 5 that you lost. If you lose that, you remember you only lost 10. So you can't. There's some people I see put $20. Don't do that. Just replace what you lost, $5, because you can get in the hole really quick. So say you lost 10, so replace the 10. If you lose that 10, you're down 20. You're eventually going to win. If you have a bankroll, you can get out of this. So now you replace it with 20. So you see how it's coming up. So you win. So now you won 20, which you got your losses back. So you start all over. You go back down to $5, and that's using money management. So I suggest when you play blackjack, play two hands. Split 5s and 6s. Is also, remember, only when the dealer has a 2 through 6, because that's when they're weak. I asked a question. I think it was episode 3. Somebody asked me, if you get blackjack, can you double down? Yes, you can double down on blackjack. I mean, I don't know why you want to do that. I was playing one time, and I know that guy was card counting. I know he was. I was watching him, and he had blackjack, and the dealer was already giving this person a card. And the guy, hey, what are you doing? No, I want to double down. And the lady goes, you know you got blackjack? He goes, yeah, but I want to double down. So she had to call the floor, and the floor came up and says, he wants to double down on his blackjack. So the dealer says, you want a card? Do you know you have blackjack? He says, yeah, give me a card. So he had blackjack, and then they gave him a card, and he happened to hit a 10. More than likely, this guy was card counting. So when he hit the 10, instead of paying time and a half or 3 to 2, he got double. So if you put, I think he had $25. So he had $25 here. Instead of making $37.50, he made $50 because 10 and 10 and ace is 21. So now it's 21. He got paid 50. But you shouldn't do that because you're causing attention to yourself by doing stuff like that. You don't want to get caught. You should keep card counting a secret. When I was dealing one time before we went to work, we we all did a meeting around the podium, and we were told that there was card counters in they were playing. They were around the tables, and so we had to kind of watch them and any big bets they wanted to know, and they already alerted the eyes in the sky, and so you don't want to bring attention to yourself. So those people they were playing, they brought attention to this stuff. Don't do that. You just keep it a secret because you can use this card recognition, card counting. You can make you can make some pretty good money, and you can longevity. You can do it the rest of your life. So don't get greedy. That's how people get caught. They get greedy. Okay. Let me see if I can take this off. Take this off here, and I'm gonna go into craps. If you guys got any questions on, if there's any questions on blackjack, go ahead and give Aaron the phone number is right there. 855-202-4321. You can call the studio and answer any questions on blackjack or craps or even roulette. Oh, before I go into craps, I want to tell you what happened to me. I was there 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. I was playing at Circa. Now, I like Circa. It's a nice casino downtown. It's a new one. I went down there and I got on a $25 table and I started playing. And I bought 110 inside. I had 25 on the pass and 25 on the odds. I usually try to start the limit. That's actually a lot because a lot of people don't play $25 tables. But I went in there and said, you know what? I'm just gonna play. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I don't like to. I usually play a $10 or $15 table, but I went in there and played the $25 table. And I know about 4 or 5 of the dealers pretty good now, and a couple of floor people because they see me in there and I'm tipping the dealer. I'm always tipping the dealers. I give them a hard 4. I tip the dealers a hard 4. Usually I start $10 and $1, and then if I go to 25, I give the dealers $5, so they make 35. I also tip here if the point is whatever the point is. I usually put it in like I say in my book. If you're gonna tip the dealers, you put it right here. Can you see that? That's over here. You don't put it inside, and you can't put it down here. Put it right here. Call it put bets on the line. If you put it here for the dealers, it'll pay. If say the point is 10, it'll pay $5. But if you put it right here, and it's called a put bet. It's just that bet right there is the same thing if you put it up here. It's the same thing. So you put it right here. Now the dealers are gonna make $9 instead of $5. So I usually tip the dealers and I put it. That's why a lot of the dealers are kind of getting to know me now because I'm tipping them. Usually, it's funny because I'm one of the only ones tipping, even though people are making pretty good money. Once in a while they'll tip. But the reason why I'm telling you this story because I practice what I preach. So I'm gonna tell you the end of what happened. So anyway, so I ended up Circa. I think I made, I don't know what it was. I bought in for 300 and I ran it up to I think it was 3,800. The table was hot. I was hitting all my points. I was hitting a 9, 54 on the hop. That's my favorite hopping bet. 54. It's a one-time bet, and I usually bet $5. It's 54 on the hop, and when that comes out on a 2 table, I'll pay 75. So the point was 9, and I threw 54 on the hop. The reason why I did that is because 4 and 9 are intertwined. I say it all the time. I got a buddy, Dave. He's a dealer. He's always saying that too because he sees it himself. A lot of times a hard 4 comes up. I don't know why, but the 9 comes up. If the 9 comes up, a lot of times either the soft 4 or hard 4 comes up. I don't know why, but I was yelling out 4 and 9 are intertwined, and I threw him $5 and I hit the point. The point was 9. The point was 9, and it hit 54 on the hop, and I won both bets. So I had 25 here, 50 here, and so I won 75 for my $5, and you say down and down. So they give you the $5 down because you don't want to do it again. And so I won 25 here, and back here I won 75. But the table was on fire. So anyway, I ended up making I ended up making 38, and it was still early. I didn't want to quit, so I played a little bit longer, and the table going boom, boom, 777. I go, uh-oh. So I didn't want to go to the don't pass. So I said, you know what? Let me go to Golden Gate, which is, I know everybody there. I get free rooms all the time there. Anyway, so I cashed out. By the time I cashed out, instead of 3,800, I cashed out 20. I think it was 29. So I lost $900. So I went to the cashier, and I went to the Golden Gate. I walked in there, and those guys were all laughing at me. Hey, Richard, where you been? Your buddy Circle over there. So I got crazy. I got a little upset because I lost that money. That was dumb, but sometimes I was drinking too, and I got a little pissed off, and I said, let me see if I can make some back. So I bought in for 300 at the Golden Gate, and man, that 300, I couldn't hit nothing, and I lost 300. Then I bought in for another 300, and I hedged a little bit on the don't. So I put 50 here, and then when I got a point 6 or 8, I think I had 30-30 and 7 out, so I lost 60, but I won 50 here. And then anyway, the table just went south, man. So I ended up winning. I ended up losing another 300, so I was down 600. So I was, I got to go to bed because I got to get up tomorrow, and I got to head back to California. So I bought it for 2 more hundred. So I bought in 2 more hundred, and I lost that really fast. And I go, you know what? I think I'm just going to take my wins because I was still way up. So I was walking to my room, but at the end of that casino, the roulette wheel is there. And usually I play roulette once in a while. And I was watching these people play, those 2 people playing, and they were putting straight up numbers, and everybody got wiped out. They just kept getting wiped out, and I was just shaking my head. I said, Jesus, these people know what they're doing? So I said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to practice what I preach. Now on episode 1, I think it was episode 1, I show you the first, second, and third 12s or the columns. It's all the same thing. It's 38.58% to hit one of the 12s. And so there's 3 of those. So in the columns is the same thing, 31.58% to hit one of those columns, and there's 3 of them. So what I did is I bought it for $200, and she goes, you want red? I go, no, give me green. So I got green, and I put on the first 12 and the second 12, I put 50 and 50, and it came up. The middle one came up, which is the middle. The second 12 is the middle one. It came up. So I lose the 50 here, but I got it back here, and it pays 2-1. So I ended up making $50. So I did it again. First and second 12s. I put 50-50. I won again. I won 4 times in a row. And then I just kept playing that because it was coming up. Now, I kind of thought about switching to the third 12, but she kept hitting this first and second. So I stayed there. Then I took another $50 and I put it on red, which red is my favorite color, but it don't matter. The percentage is the same. Odd, even, red, and black is 47.37, no matter what. All those, no matter what odd or even, red or black within the layout, it doesn't matter where you that ratios and percentage is always the same. So I picked red, and she spun the ball, and 7 came up. I lost the second $50 on the second 12, but I won $50 back plus 50, and I won 50 on the red. So the next spin, she hit. I had 50-50, and she hit. I think it was 35. So I knew I lost 100. So the next spin, I go, you know what I'm going to do? I'm gonna just take a chance, which is I did take a chance. I put $25 on the split zeros. I wasn't going to put 50, but I said, no, I'm not going to get crazy. So I put $25 on the split zeros, and then I played 50 and 50 on the first and second 12s, and guess what came up? The ball, I saw the ball bouncing, and it went boom, 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 and it went into a single zero. And I go, wow. So that $25, I won $425 for that $25, even though I lost the 100 here. So I go, well, I almost got all my money back. So what I did is I played one more time. I played 50 on the first 12, 50 on the second one, and then I actually said, you know what? I'm going to put it on black. So I put 50 on black, and it came out 17. I think it was 17 black. So I ended up losing the first 50, but I got 50 and 50 again. I won 50 and I quit. And I sold a color coming in and I stacked it all. My 200, I got back the $800 I lost at the crap table half hour ago. So I said, you know what? I got my money back. Let me just go to the room. The reason I'm telling you that because I practice what I preach. I know the ratios are in my favor. I know they are, but a lot of people don't like to play 50 and 50. You can play 5 and 5. If it's a $5 table, you can put 5 and 5. It doesn't matter. The denomination doesn't matter. The ratio is the same. The ratio is in your favor. So if you have first 12, second 12, that's 24 numbers in your favor, and the casino only has 14. It's the other 12 plus the 2 zeros. That's 14 against them. Now I don't care how much it pays. I don't care if it pays $1,000. You got to hit it. You have to hit it first. So when you play roulette, try to put the ratios in your favor. Now in my book, it's in the book Winning Ways. I do have show you how to do that, and then I show you if you start making some pretty good money, you can play first, second 12, or first 12, third 12. It don't matter, and you can also play the columns because you want to hit the first, second, or third 12. 2 of them. You always play 2, and it has to be the same amount of money. Don't play $10 and $5. It has to be 10 and 10, 20 and 20. And then the columns do the same thing. You can play 2 columns. You don't play 3. They won't let you play 3 anyway because you break out even unless they hit the zeros. So you can try to play when you're up. Don't do it in the beginning. Just when you're up, maybe you start with $10 and you're up $60, $70. You can do it. Play $5, $5. You can take 2 of the columns. It'll be 5 and 5, and see if you can hit. If you can hit, you might hit 3 of them, or even 1 will even pay that one off, and you'll only be down $5. But hopefully you'll hit maybe all of them. But anyway, that's the reason I'm telling you that story, because I practice what I preach, because the ratios were in my favor to do that. And usually I don't like playing $100 a shot on roulette, but like I said, the ratios are in your favor to win that bet. So that's a story that happened to me. It just happened to me 2 weeks ago when I was in Vegas. Now I'm streaming live here, but next Saturday, which is the 22nd, I'll be back in the studio. I'm going to see if I can call Mia, see if I can get her. She's owns a Dieter School. Some of the videos we shot with Gypsy, we shot there at that studio. But I'll be back in the studio. Okay, I got other questions on craps. Wow, this time already went by. Okay, when any of these numbers called board numbers, okay, if you whatever number you play, the house has a percentage. Now that you don't really need to know that, but if you do know it, you can actually see where your losses are coming from, because you'll know what numbers, or even if a dominant number is coming up, you always play that. If it's say 5, 5, 5, 5, just play it because it's coming up. Okay, so the house edge on the 4 and 10 are 6.67% in the long run. The 5 and 9, they're 4%, and the 6 and 8 are 1.52%. That's their percentage. Okay. Now the reason why I'm telling you that is because that's a house edge. It has nothing to do with you trying to hit this point. Okay. So say the point is let's just say the point is 4. Okay. And you have $5 here, and you always take out. You have $5 here. Okay. This point right here is 63 in the casino's favor to win. I don't care if this pays 2 to 1 down here. You have to hit that point first. So the ratio is 6 for the casino to win and only 3 for you. So you can see the ratio is in their favor to win this bet. So I don't care how much this pays down here on true odds. You have to hit that point first. Okay. The further in the easier it is to come up, but they pay less here and on the odds. And the other thing I got to say on odds, they call it free odds. The casino loves to say free odds. It's not free. It came out of your wallet. Okay? So that is the house advantage. They don't have no advantage on the payout, which on 4 and 10 is 2-1. They don't have no advantage on that. But you have to win it first. So that's the ratio on hitting a 4. And to throw that, if you actually want to throw that number, 4 or 10, right now, the percentage of you throwing that is 8.33%. So that's a percentage of you trying to throw that number. Okay, the 5 and 9 to throw it is 11.11% to throw it. So the higher the percentage is, the more often it's going to come up. The 6 and 8 are 13.89% to come up. That's why 6 and 8 come up the most. So you always want to play 6 and 8. And what do you got against you is a 7, which is 16.67%. Now, the other thing is about a 7. I show a lot of people on my show about how many times 7 comes up. What do you get? You get 7, and you get 7, and you get 7, and you get 7. You open it up, it's 7, and then you got a ace and a 6 and 7. It comes up the most. So there are 36 combinations on a set of dice. Okay, so 6 of them are 7. 6 of those combinations out of the 36 are 7. So for each 7, for no matter what the 7 is on a set of dice, turn that around. Okay, each one of these 7s is 2.77833333. If you add up, you go to a calculator, do that times 6, it'll come up to 16.67%. So the dice is set up for 7 to come out. That's the game was devised for 7 to come out. So that's why 7 comes out the most. Now the 6 and 8, these come up 5 times and 5 times. So if you add these 2 up, that's 10 times. And this comes up only 6. Now you would think this would come up more than this. No, because the dice are set up to come up 7. They're not set up to come up 6 and 8. If you turn them, everywhere you turn this, it's a 7, but not on a 6 and 8 or the other numbers. So even though this is 5 and 5, that's 10 times. There's only 6 times, but the dice are set up to come up 7. So that's why 7 comes out the most. So when you play a pass line, this bet is in your favor. This is 1.41%. What that means is for every $5 that you place here, the casino in the long run keeps 7 cents in the long run. So so they already have a built-in edge. I got another question on taking odds. Do you like take odds on 4 and 10? Yes. I don't care if the ratio is in the casino's favor. This is how you buck the house. This is how actually you use money management. Let me see if I can do this. If you bet $5 here and the point is 10, and you bet $5 here, which is the odds, if 10 comes up, you win 5 here and you win 10 back here. Now you won for your 5 here and your 10. You won a total of $15, and you still have your original $10. So now you have 15 extra dollars. So say the 8 comes up. Okay, so now you got 5 here and 8. So you put $5 here. Now this is your original bet, $10. But remember, you won $15. So you take those $15 because you haven't lost this yet. So now you can put $5 here, and you should, if the point is 8, you should take the 6. So you have to spend another $1 there. It should be $6. So 5 and 5. So now you use your profit to make these bets. It didn't come out of your wallet. So that's why I tell people, if you win here, you win 5 here, you win 5, don't stack it. Because if 2, 3, 12 comes out, you're going to lose not only the profit, but your original bet. So just, I don't care if 7 or 11 comes out 3 times off. Don't do it. Okay, so if you win, if you win that bet, just keep it there. So now you have 15. So you use 5 here and use 6 here. So that's 11. And 11, what do you have? 12, 15. You have $4 extra. So you got your 5, and 7 comes out. Now you utilize your profit and then come out of your wallet and you save money. So that's why you don't keep stacking and stacking. I see people do it. Don't do it. Even though they win in the long run, they're oh, that's the other thing. The other reason why I tell them don't do that is because if they put, say they get up to what is it, 30? They get up to $30, and then the point comes up no matter what. They don't want to put no money here because they got 30 here. And I said, well, you shouldn't have done that, because if the point is 10 and you have 5 here and you got 25 back here, for this 25, you're going to win 25. But if you would have left it off and put it here, you would have won 50. You're giving the casino $50. Or they do this. Say they win, say they got 25 here because they kept stacking it, and then they take $5 and put it on the odds. No, you don't do that. You need to put, you always put the same exact odds or more, never less. So that's using money management on the pass line and taking odds, and then using your odds when you win to take the extra bets. Okay, okay, that's if you want to buy these numbers, always buy the 4 and 10. I can't believe how time's going. The 4 and 10, always buy them. You can buy the 5 and 9. I would stay away from the 6 and 8. I have a scenario in my book showing you why you don't do that. It's not really feasible to do that. So if you buy the 4 and 10, and say there should be $20. A lot of casinos want you to bet 25, but it should be 20. I think the 4 Queens and what is it, Binions, they're letting you do it for $10, and they're not asking for the vig up front, which is fantastic, because not asking for the vig up front, they're cutting into their house edge by doing that. So you want to always buy the 4 and 10. So if you have $25 here, you give them $1. Instead of $45, you win 50. Actually, you're winning 49 because you're actually put up the dollar. If you buy this, all these numbers here, all of them are 4.76% for the casino in the long run. If they don't ask for it up front, the buy, this goes from actually 4.76%. It drops all the way down to 1.67%. That's a huge drop. This 4.76%, this drops down to 1.96%, and the 6 and 8 goes from 4.76%. This drops down to 2. On a buy, 2.2%. So that's a huge drop. So you don't need to know that really, but you can see how the house makes more money by asking for the vig up front. If they don't ask, it's great if they don't ask for the vig up front. And you can actually lay all these numbers. I went into that. So that's another thing that's really huge. Aaron, do you have I guess a craps video?
Yeah, I can play a craps video.
Okay, we're going to go to a commercial real quick because I want to show you a craps video.
It's us.
I'm here, Richard Delatorre, the author of, it's in the book, Winning Ways, teaching you how to beat the casinos by understanding ratios and true odds.
That's right. We're here to teach you all those tips that Richard talked about when he was on our show, Time to Vegas. Right now, it's Time to Vegas.
Hi, Richard Delatorre here. It's in the book, Winning Ways, understanding ratios and true odds. The first thing I'm going to show you, when you go to a crap table, you get a set of 5 dice, You pick 2. You don't take 5 to say Yahtzee. So I always tell them, this is an ace. This is not a 1. It's an ace. So ace to the left. Ace to the left. And you can either have hard ways, you have all the hards, or you flip it twice, and now you got 7s. 7, 7, 7. Open it up, it's a 7. 6 and 1 is 7. 7 comes up the most. The dice are set to come up at 7. When they started craps, they didn't build this felt and say, hey, this is dice. No, they took a set of dice, they made sure 7 comes up the most, and they went ahead and drawn out the felt. So the highest ratio you can get, or the percentage, is 16.67 on a set of dice. The next numbers, which comes up the most, are 6 and 8, are 13.89%. The 5 and 9 are 11.11%, and the 4 and 10 are 8.33%. So the further down the percentages, the harder it is to come up. But they do pay out on true odds on the set of dice on the back, if you take odds, and you should be taking odds, because that's where the casino, that's how you buck your house edge. But it has nothing to do with you, it's the ratio. Now I'm gonna go into taking odds, which is very important. Okay, I don't like come betting. A lot of old timers like come betting. I go through these parties and they're old come betters, and I see them betting this bet. It's the worst bet on the table. Do not play it. Okay, I'm gonna show you why. Okay, let's say the point is 9. Okay, I have a place better betting $10 on the 10. And we got the come better over there. He thinks he's gonna make a lot of money because he's letting the dice control his number. Okay, so say the dice roll and 10 comes out. Okay, this place better is gonna get paid $18. He's gonna get paid 18 for his 10. Now the come better goes to the 10 and he puts his $5 on the 10. Now he has to wait 1 roll to get paid. I already got paid as a place better. So now, let's say the dice roll, and maybe an 8 can come up. Doesn't matter. 10 comes up again. Guess what? The place better gets another $18. The come better, which he thinks he's making a ton of money because he's a come better, he gets 5 for his flat bet and he gets 10 for his odds. What do you want, 15 or $36? No matter how much money the come better makes, the place better will always make more money. Plus, you can take this off. As a come better, you can only take your odds bet off. If I've ran into come bettors that say, well, I don't play $10. Well, what do you want to play? You want to play green? I said, it's a scenario's the same. If I got 50 there and 25 here, and then he puts 25, the same thing. I got paid more money because he had to wait twice to get paid once. So that's just a scenario on come betting that I don't like. A place better could actually add more to his bet. If you go to a table, it's only 2 times the bet, you can't add any more money as a come better. You can take a new bet, but you can't add like a place better bet. And I can reduce my bet as a place better. Come better is the worst thing you can bet, because if 2, 3, 12 comes out, you lose on the come bet. You're already down $25, so you just bet, there goes your odds. If you want to bet a smaller or bigger denomination, yes, you can change it. But a come better will always wait twice to get paid once. So 2, 3, 12 comes out, you lose. I had guys say, well, I think 7's coming out, so I'm going to bet this. And I said, why would you bet a come bet and lose all your come bets just to make $25? You're going to lose maybe $200, win 25. If you're going to do something like that, why don't you take that and put it on big red, which is the 7. If it comes out, you make $100. I'll go into hedge betting later about doing something like that. But that's why I don't like come betting. It's the worst bet on the table. The casino will teach you a place bet, and then they teach you a come bet really quick. Don't do it. That's my opinion, but try it. You'll notice you'll make more money as a place better.
Okay, we're back. I got a question. I think it was 3 weeks ago on dice setting. They want to know if casinos let you dice set. Some casinos don't. If you do, learn to set the dice really quick if you're going to do this. I did it one time at the Hard Rock one time, and the lady started watching me. Yeah, I was hitting a couple of numbers, but I just stopped doing it. But in my book, it's in the book, Winning Ways. I do have a section on that, dice setting. On dice setting, So it shows you how to set the dice. So if you want to start learning to do that, you have to learn to set them really quick. Like, you see the 2 6s, I call kissing 6s. You put them together. As long as you turn it until it becomes a 5 or another 5, then you got a 9 and a 9. That's how you throw the, when you dice set, you have to grip them. You have to grip them, and when you throw them, they're not supposed to move. Don't set them, and then I see people setting their dice, and then they get them and they toss them. That does you no good. So what the dice are supposed to do, you should be practicing about 6 months before you go into the casino, and make sure the table's distance that you've been practicing on. So when you get them and you hold them, you should hold them like this, and one thumb like this, and then when you throw them, they're supposed to go in midair and not move. And then they hit the back of they hit 6 inches from the table, and then they come up and they hit, and then they come back, and then they move. If you practice enough, you'll see patterns. Like you'll see the same number, and the same number, like the 6 and the 4. You'll see it like this. You will see patterns. So the dice, it does work, because I tried it and I did practice it, but I just kind of stopped doing it. So in my book, I do show you how to set dice. So it's an ace to the left and an ace to the left, and then you turn them until you get a 7, a 7, a 7, a 7. So remember, in my book, I show you it's ace to the left and ace to the left, and then now if you turn it twice, you got all the hard numbers. You have all the hard numbers. So there's scenarios to show you how to set the dice to get certain numbers, and you use that, and then you practice. And remember, when you throw the dice, you're not supposed to be tumbling and moving. It does you no good. When you release them from your hand, they should be going like this in midair. They shouldn't be moving. And once they hit the back, 6 inches from the back, they pop a hit, and then they come back, and then trust me, it does work. But some casinos, they know about it. There's a guy named the Dominator. He's probably one of the biggest. He has a book out, but he sells books and videos. But I told a friend of mine, I said, you know what? You know why he's selling books and all that stuff? Because they won't let him in the casino no more. They know who he is. So even though you're learning this, if you can learn it and keep it to yourself, and maybe you might win some money throwing hard ways, you can make some money. Now, also in my book, besides dice setting, I have the ratios. I have the ratios on dice. So it tells you how the numbers, how many times it comes up. So the ratio of 12, this is an 8. This is a die. It's a cube. It has 6 sides. Okay. If you look at the ace, there's only one way to come up. Out of 6 sides, it comes up once. So the ratio is 1 of 6. So if you put 2 dice together and you have both aces, it comes up 1 time out of 12 sides. So the ratio is 1 in 12. This is a mathematician that was telling me, no. I said, you seen what I'm talking about? He goes, yeah. He said, that's the ratio, because there's 36 combinations in a set of dice. So I said, yeah, that's one of the 36. But you just told me there's 6 sides on this, and there's 6 sides on this one. So that's a total of 12 sides. And this one comes out one time. Aces or 12 comes out once. There are 12 sides. It comes out once of 12 sides. That's the ratio is 1 of 12. And the same thing, I go into all the other numbers, how many times it comes up. Also, I have it in here because somebody asked me this. What about cards? Playing craps with cards? I do have using cards for craps. And I show you the difference between dice and cards. The closest to a set of dice, if some casinos, they got to be using 20 decks. And that's ace through 6. 20 decks is almost identical to throwing 2 sets of dice. It's got to be 20 decks. So they have 2 shoes, 10 and 10. That's 20 decks. That's the closest you're going to get throwing dice. And then also I have in the back, I have, because I got a question about this. You have dice setting and also using cards. And they also asked me these are the house advantage and I have all of them. All of them are here. The reels, the video poker, baccarat, craps, keno, sports betting, and roulette. It tells you exactly what the house edge is. So I suggest you get my book on your phone. You can Kindle it, ebook it, I think Google Play, because you have it everywhere you go. So if you and it's actually cheaper. It's actually cheaper to get it on your phone. So I would suggest get it on your phone, and you'll have it everywhere you go. So if you have to step off to a blackjack table or craps, I'm sure you're not going to be doing this in the book. So you'll have it on your phone, and then you'll be, oh, okay, this is a segment on craps or roulette or whatever. So it's in the book, and it's called Winning Ways. Some people said I looked for it's called Winning Ways. I said no, it's in the book Winning Ways, because there's a book on mathematical problems on winning ways, but my book it's in the book Winning Ways, and I had to put that on there so you could because some people actually one person bought the wrong book. So we got what I got here in a minute.
Yeah, about a minute, less than a minute.
Less than a minute. Okay. Well, I'll be back in the studio next Saturday, and if you've got any questions, leave them with Aaron, and I'll answer them next Saturday. And I'm gonna probably go into I might be talking about Keno, poker, and slot machines. So I'm gonna go into that. So let's just go to the casino, use money management, hedge betting, and start with a bankroll. And if you get way up, come right back down to the beginning, $5. You got 25, go back to 5. So I guess that's it. Here's streaming live. I want to thank Aaron, Go Live Vegas, and me, Hotel Vegas. So I'll see you next Saturday in the studio.